So guys, we're in the Vintage Premier event and we are in round 2 and we're playing an opponent by the name of JeromeTurner and we have no idea what he is playing, and Jerome has chosen to play first. So unfortunately we once again have to mulligan, and this is a pretty risky hand. I do think we keep it, where this would be really bad for us if we got hit with a wasteland, but unfortunately I don't think we have the option of shipping it. And of course having the Sundering Titan is atrocious in this situation, but let's hope that we're not playing against Bug. Because if this is Bug, we're in a lot worse shape. Okay, we're playing Storm. So he's going off turn 1. Or are we seeing a Necropotence here? So the good news is that if he doesn't, maybe he's going to play a Dark Confidant. He'll probably take our Sphere or Chalice. Yeah, Sphere. Yeah, so he's just going. So is this a Yogg-Will? Oh, interesting. Grim Tutor. Okay. I guess he could play a Black Lotus here and a Yogg-Will? Yeah, so that's what he's doing. Okay, no. Sphere would be nice, or a Moxen. Okay. So, this is an interesting situation here. I think what we need to do here is we want to avoid a Yawgmoth's Will here. And I don't know if he went for Black Lotus or a Yogg-Will here, or if he's going to do a Tendrils or what, but I think we need to play the Thorn, and we're going to play the Chalice at 0, and we're just going to pass turn. Now, we could play the Chalice first at 0, but it doesn't matter because it's not. We're just going to pay the extra 1 here off of our workshop and prevent any shenanigans of, I don't know. He'd have to crack his Lotus, essentially, to get rid of our Chalice at 0. So I would have really loved to have that Chalice at 1. But being able to take away his Lotus and his Lotus from being recurred here is pretty significant, I would think. So that, and he's going to have to battle over our Thorn here. And of course, if we draw a land here next turn, then we're going to be able to get a Lodestone Golem out, which is very powerful. So I'm not sure what we're playing against here. I mean, it looks just like traditional Storm, I would think, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't see Grim Tutor too often. Land. Tangle Wire. Okay. We're fine playing a Tangle Wire here. That's pretty good for... Oh! We need to play one more. Okay. So we're getting burned by our own Thorn here. But hopefully we can draw a land here in the very near future, as we don't want our opponent to be able to build up resources here. Okay, let's draw a land, will we? Wormcoil Engine, jeez. That's not what we're looking for. So a little bit unfortuitous for us for not to be able to draw a land here up to this point, but hopefully we can get one this turn, and we will start to be... I think if we get a land here, we should be able to pull away. The question is that, do we go for the Tangle Wire, or do we go for the Win Condition plus Sphere? Both of which are very good. But the Tangle Wire is essentially a free card for us if we can land it, in the sense that we've got 3 permanents that tap down to it, and following turn, we can play the Lodestone Golem. And I think that is the correct play. I mean, Double Sphere is very powerful against a spell-based deck like this, like all cantrips, but... or presumably cantrips anyways. I would also be very grateful to get another sphere here. That would, I think, give him difficulty. But the land is what we're after because we have a couple plays in a row that we can do off the land, which are quite devastating to our opponents. So. Okay, so land here. No, Forge Master, geez. Really, we're very unfortuitous. 5 turns and we haven't drawn a land is pretty bad. And most people don't get away with a win when you go 5 turns without drawing a land like this. But so our opponent is playing a Gitaxian Probe, which is probably pretty good. And he's also got another land, which is good for him as well. It's just a matter of can he go off in any degree. And it's certainly possible. The Black Lotus, I mean, it does give him a jolt in the arm, but he only gets to use it once with the Chalice, so. So really, what we need here is a land of any sort. Black Lotus, or oh, interesting. Okay, is he just building a storm count up here? Yeah, that's what he's doing. So that's 2, 3, and oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so we got a land, which is pretty good for us, and I think we're just going to Tangle Wire him here. I think it really does slow him down a lot, and then next turn we're just going to go for the Lodestone Golem. Is that correct? Maybe just playing 2 spheres is better here. No, I am going to do the Tangle Wire. I think that's debatable whether that's right or not, but it's just such a powerful card against my opponent. It locks down his resources, and he's going to be dealing with another sphere next turn, and a Beat Stick and Lodestone. So hopefully this is enough, and we don't get hit with a Hercules or a Rebuild or any nonsense of that nature. So he's tapped down his Lotus. Okay. So having drawn the land there, I definitely feel more secure. Okay, so now we're going to get the Lodestone. Hopefully draw. Oh, Academy is just a great draw. You know what? I think what I'm going to do here is Wasteland my opponent. And I'm going to take his Underground Sea, and that will put him just that much farther under my sphere effects here. And hopefully this will be enough to wrap it up. Okay, so he's got a Black Lotus here. So we can cast a 1 casting cost spell off the Lotus. Okay, and he chose not to do that. So unfortunately we don't have any big power plays here, but hopefully we can draw a sphere. Is essentially what we're after here. Oh, Tangle Wire is just great. Okay, so we're going to pound in here. And Tangle Wire, if this lands, which presumably it will, should wrap the game up here. We've got 4. Which is what it's going to cost me to cast the, yeah. You know what I'm going to do is, just in case, I'm going to keep the real mana alive. Not workshop mana, just in case he's got something like a, you know, Spell Pierce or some darn thing. And presumably this is going to wrap it up, guys. Having said that, we could get hit with a Rebuild or Hercules Recall here. That is definitely a possibility, which would be pretty devastating, actually. Okay. And once again, the beauty of a tango wire with permanence on the table, it doesn't cost us anything. Okay, Staff and In is not really a card I'm happy to see here. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can actually cast a Sundering Titan here, which should just ice the game for us because we're going to take away 2 of his lands here. Yeah. So we didn't get to see a ton of our opponent's deck here. But, I mean, this is a Storm deck. It's just what type of Storm are we dealing with is the question. For Cabal, with the boxes, if you want. Oh, I see what my opponent's saying. He's giving me some intel here, which probably is never recommended to do, but he's trying to build Threshold for Cabal. I can't think of the name of the actual card, but it's like a dark ritual. Cabal Ritual is what it's called. And if it reaches, it will give you 3 mana for the cost of 2 mana, but if you reach Threshold, I think it gives you 5 mana. Is that something like that? But regardless, I think my opponent is actually playing Storm. That is my guess here. And, you know, Witchbane Orb is a very good card against Storm. There's no doubt about that. I don't think Duplicant is very good. Chalice of the Void, even though we're on the draw, is still a very powerful card against Storm. I don't think Crucible of Worlds is really necessary. So it breeds the question, I mean, do we want to do Grafdigger's Cages here, shutting down his Yogg Will engine, or do we just want Leyline of the Voids? I mean, we cannot cast Leyline of the Void in our deck. However, Grafdigger's Cage is also very good, but it is incongruent with a Chalice of the Void, and the only way we can really get it is through a Forge Master. So I think we do bring in a couple of them. I don't want to hedge my bets fully on them, but I do like them. And I think I'll just ditch a Staff and In, and I'm probably going to go with this. Make sure there's nothing in here we really don't want. But any type of Sphere is powerful against an opponent like this, and Hellcate's actually probably pretty bad as well, but if an opponent knows they're playing against Sphere and Chalice, they will quite often, even if they're Storm players, get their Moxen out, so meaning that we can get them with our Steel Hellkite, whereas normally a Storm player, if they're not playing against Spheres, hoards all their Moxen and Lotuses until they storm out. So I think this is a pretty good start, and yeah, we'll just see how that goes. So I think this is pretty reasonable. We've got a Chalice at, we can set a Chalice at 0 or 1, and we have a turn 2 Lodestone Golem, or a turn 1 Lodestone Golem, if we choose to put the Chalice at 0. So we're going to hold it. It's not perfect, but it's doable. You know, once again, you know, I'm just not crazy about Mana Crypt. It does put this hand over the top a little bit, but interesting. Okay, so he's got the Sol Ring, which is pretty good. So we can Wasteland here, which I think we do. I think we take his Tolarian Academy away, and the question is, do we want to put Mana Crypt down? Which is fine. I can't imagine what he's playing here off 2 mana. Probably just tapping it for the sake of tapping it. Be pretty shocked to see a Snapcaster Mage right here, but seen crazier things in Magic. Now the question is do we just want to just go balls out and just get this? I think I am going to just set it at 1. It's just worth going for it here. We do have some threats, and they should be static threats in in the Lodestone Golem and the Mishra's Factory here, and we're going to be able to power out a Staff of Nin here at some point, and hopefully we can just beat bad coin flips if we happen to get any. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape here, I think. Let's start by winning a coin flip. We won a coin flip. All right. Workshop. Oh, great. That's a nice draw, actually. So we're going to get down a Lodestone Golem. And our opponent is not showing any blue or black mana here, which is really good for us. Particularly that we're not seeing any blue. And let's win another flip here. Ah, shucks. Can't win them all, I guess. Grafdigger's Cage. See, this is where it gets really bad, right? Regardless, we're going to attack in here. And we have quite a bit of mana here. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can cast the Staff of Nin at 6. So I'm going to do that. Right, let's just make sure here. 5, yep. And Staff of Nin is in itself here not a very powerful card, but for the lack of sphere effect it has, but it still is drawing me 2 cards a turn here, and I'm going to get to plunk them, and each damage counts. So and we're looking for Lodestone Golems. Yeah, see, that's even pretty good. Okay. So we're going to set the Chalice at 0 here. And I guess I'm just going to play a Forge Master here. Actually, yeah, we're going to play Forge Master. I was going to do it after my attack, but there's no reason in this situation. I'm not in danger of him doing any big shenanigans here, so. Because he has no blue mana. And we are absolutely after sphere effects here. We're not home free yet. Next turn I will definitely be sacrificing artifacts here, and I will be going in for a Steel Hellkite to remove his mana. If I'm given the opportunity, that is. And actually, he's just dead next turn, so it's not even an issue. So no blue mana is a good thing for us. Okay. Okay. Sure. Well, let's plow in here. I don't see a reason not to. Yeah, there's nothing you can do here. And the question is, do we attack with the Forge Master? And I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think he has any play here that can get us. Even if he gets one of our guys here. Yeah, I think this is the smart play. And, you know, if he does something like a, thank you, you know, a Slaughter Pact, then we can just remove his swamp and he dies.